Hi, I'm Courtney.
And I'm Nate, and welcome to the Mono Poly Couple YouTube channel. All right, what's the topic for today?
It's just about you banging other people.
I think that's, go ahead, I'll let you explain. I don't even know what to say.
So one of the things that actually has been coming up for several of our audience members is this pushback that they're getting from their monogamous partners when they come to them and say, hey, I think I'm polyamorous, or I do identify as polyamorous, and I'm wanting to open up the relationship. And the monogamous partner is really struggling with this idea that it's just about sex. You just want to go have sex with other people.
Yes, that is something I struggled with initially as well.
All right, tell me about it.
Yeah. I think that coming from a monogamous perspective, when your partner, or at least for me, when my partner, Courtney, was like, I want to date other people, I was like, why? Like, you have everything you could need in this relationship.
Yeah.
So it must be about sex. It must be about something that, you have a home, you have kids, you have a job, like I have a job, we're like doing sort of the normal things in a marriage and a relationship. So like, what could it be? And it
must be sex because
must be sex, right?
I'm wanting more variety or whatever.
Yeah. To mix it up, to spice it up. And like, why would you want to date somebody? And what I knew about non-monogamy or polyamory at the time was that it was less about relationships, which you are primarily focused on, and more about just having other partners. And so to me, that equated with having sex with other people.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say that in our exposure to polyamory was minimal to none. And the only exposure really to non-monogamy was just like hooking up and
like swingers or like different parties, or I'd heard of like swinger cruises or all these other kind of things. And so to me, it was much more just about a physical relationship than anything else. And so that was my initial thought, or one of my initial thoughts as well.
So one of the things that I have not done a good job on, because I do struggle with how to present the sexual aspect of polyamory and being in a polyamorous relationship that does involve a sexual relationship, because everybody always goes to,
it's just about sex.
Exactly. Yeah. And so for me, I have probably subconsciously downplayed, maybe even consciously downplayed the role that sex can play in polyamorous relationships.
Yeah, you mean on either the YouTube or other kind of
channels? I would say all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have I struggle with being misunderstood, and it feels like it would be fuel to those people's fire.
Got it. So if you talked about sex in your relationships, that could be like, well, you prove their point that it's just about having sex with other people.
Exactly. You don't really, it's not about love. It's not about emotions and connections. You just want to bang other people, and you're using polyamory as this catch-all phrase to justify your choices.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what some people do or think. So yeah, I could see how that would come across.
So how do you address that with somebody like what you used to be and how you used to think as a monogamous person who is now having their partner come to them, and how do you handle that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, to be honest, sex is going to be part of a relationship. So if that is something that you don't ever see yourself getting past, then maybe it won't work out between the partner you currently have or whatever it may be. But that ultimately, for you at least, is a very small part of the relationship. And so I have found that exists, and for me, we just don't really talk about that part of it. So that, I mean, I know it happens. I'm not naive and not silly.
Well, not on all the guys I go on dates with.
No. Yeah, but if you're in a long-term relationship with people, I understand that's part of it. We just don't really talk about it because I am not interested in learning about it. It's not, other than the fact that if Courtney does have sex with someone else, like, they're safe, either using a barrier protection always, and then making sure people have, both partners, you and your other partner, have been checked for STIs, and you had those results before you engage in sex, then that is sort of where I feel safe and comfortable.
Same.
And we go from there. And so that's what's important to me. But I'm not naive to think that you don't have sex with someone when you're in a long-term relationship with someone.
Right. So, or that it's not important to me.
Yes.
Because it is. Like, it's part of a healthy relationship for me. I know there are some polyamorous people that are asexual. That's not part of their repertoire, and that's totally fine. But I know that for several of our audience members who reached out to us, they've shared that they're really struggling because they don't know how to convey to their monogamous partner that it's not just about sex, but yes, sex is also a part of it.
Yeah. And I think that initially for me as well, that I don't want to say it made me feel inferior, but
Yeah.
it was a concern that, like, you know, you're going to have some, you know, like in the movies, some exciting orgasmic experience that, you know, would change who you were and you would be with that person forever. And, you know, and that's just dumb.
No.
You know, like
No.
that becomes a thought in my head,
Yeah,
you know,
no, it's
and I think that
valid.
people catastrophize, or I catastrophize at first, that part of it, and have found that I really don't have much to worry about, honestly.
No.
So
You don't.
No.
Yeah, and I think that that's something too that people, they glamorize
Yeah.
the sexual aspect of polyamory, and it's not that it's not enjoyable or the sexual part of for some people, but one of the things that I have found is really great sex takes time and needs a connection, and there are very few exceptions to that. And so I think if your partner is coming to you and they're saying, hey, this is a part of me, I want to open this relationship, I really feel like I am polyamorous and have this desire, to really check what your beliefs around relationships are, what your fears around sex are, because a lot of that I've seen, both male and female, is this fear that they're going to be better than me. They're going to be a better lover. They're going to be bigger. They're going to last longer. They're going to, whatever it is. And I think that when you start to look at people that way, it is unhelpful, problematic.
Yeah.
And how do you even define better? Like, do they give you more orgasms, or do they make you laugh more during sex? Do they, like, how do you quantify or qualify being better? And there's really not an answer to that. And so once people start to realize that each person and each connection has their own specialness and uniqueness and the greatness, whatever, or not so greatness, I think it starts to give, I don't know, people peace much. Do you feel like that? Or
yeah, I have found that it's just such a small part of your relationships that it's much less about that part of it. And so my initial catastrophizing was way out of proportion, obviously. I have found that is, at least for you, so much less important than an emotional, intellectual sort of, connection with someone than it is the physical connection with someone. So yeah, that's part of it, of course, again, like I said, but it's just so much less of a concern than I made it out to be initially. So,
yeah.
And your experiences haven't always been great. And so this is just for me. Makes me feel a lot better about myself. That's all I have to say. I'll just leave it at that. So.
Yeah. And that's the reality, though, is that people don't realize there's a lot of bad sex that happens that isn't fun. It's like, oh, that was awful, or it was awful. I mean,
I wouldn't know, but I'll believe you.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you can read my memoir and
Okay.
see how bad it is. So anyways, if you have more questions specifically about this or any sexual issues that you'd love to see us address or tackle, I really do want to embrace that more and not feel so inhibited, I guess, to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and that may be the right word, or sort of held back by a certain topic.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and have you subscribed? We would love it if you subscribe.
Like and subscribe. It helps you grow the channel. That was Courtney, what she was trying to say there.
I was,
so.
yeah.
And we thank you guys for watching. And as we always say,
Can't stop, won't stop.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.